Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. New this week is Warhammer 40k Marneus Calgar number 3. I've done a written review on our site, but I'm loving the series. Wanted to do a video review as well. We're also going to have this video up on Board Game Today, our site that handles board games and tabletop games like Warhammer 40,000. Now, I've played this the game, and I've been a fan of the tabletop game, the miniature game, for 25 years or so. Well versed in the history and the setting and all that stuff. And as a comic book fan, it's been kind of fun to go in and read the comic and think about its impact on the actual world of 40k and what's come before. I don't play all Ultramarines. I'm not a Smurf player, but I've appreciated the exploits of Marneus Calgar, and for those who've read the last issue, that second issue, there was a hell of a reveal about the character. I mean, it was a huge, massive reveal, and I don't want to spoil it here. I'm trying to avoid the spoilers, so I'm going to dance around it in this review. Needless to say, there's very little this issue could do to top that reveal. I mean, there was just nothing that was that could really top that. So, what's an issue going to do? What are creators going to do? Let's find out. It's actually really smart. So, Marneus Calgar is written by Kieron Gillen, who is a 40k player and fan. Jacen Burrows does the art. Tartaglia is the colorist, and Clayton Cowles is the letterer and production. So this issue, instead of going with the big reveals, kind of dials things back in some ways, and does that in a really intelligent way by taking its dual stories. Now, the story is in the present with Marneus on his home planet and having to deal with a chaos incursion, and then we go to the past where Marneus is being trained and trying to get to be trained as a Space Marine. And it's kind of a dual kind of story looking at those two characters. We have in the present where he shows off his tactical abilities and his kind of ruthless nature in many ways. This cold, calculating nature is actually probably the better way of describing it. And then the past, where he is a youth who isn't really all that great with the tactics. He kind of screws up a little bit here and there. Does a decent amount. You can see that he's got the heart, but he just clearly is green when it comes all to that. And I think the issue really focuses on that to show you where he came from and kind of emphasize that into where he is now. Like, I think there was just a really smart decision by Gillen to make that kind of the focus of the issue, where we learn more about Marneus and his talents, and we get to see how much he's grown. I think the other is what's interesting is that the young Marneus is, we learn through what happened in the previous issue and the decisions he's made. Like that one, we learn about him having tons of heart and honor and his willingness to honor a fallen friend. And then in this issue, it's much colder. Like it's really interesting is that things sort of flip. The younger one is horrible at tactics but has tons of heart. The older one is a bit colder and willing to let the past burn down, like literally just let the past get destroyed, while employing some pretty smart tactics. It's clearly being written on purpose that way and set up that way, and the two time periods are being used that way. I think the other thing that stands out is that this issue finally brings the grim violence. 40k as a whole is not exactly puppies and hearts. It is full of grim, dark, violent explosions and death and destruction and demons and all that stuff. So as I said in my first review, I was a little shocked that it doesn't really fit the Disney property. This issue finally brings that violence. Like the first issue opened up with it, kind of died off a little bit on the second issue. This one, all totally in. I'm digging the art. We're going to show off the art and show off some of that violent moments. Well, actually, the next page is perfect on that. So watch the crimson gore exploding as Marneus goes to town and takes on some Chaos Heretics and makes them go pop in bloody explosion. I dig the art a bit more. There's some really, really solid moments in here. There's some things that still hit and miss for me. Like, I love this panel, these two panels here, as we kind of see Marneus going to town, just destroying heretics. But at the same time, you've got that, and then like the panel above it with the Chaos Heretic, just it doesn't quite fit. There's something that feels a little bit off in the styles. It's not horrible. Like it doesn't like really take me out or anything. Like, it's just the art feels like a little inconsistent and not quite fitting the world of 40K. But it's good. Like, it's good art. If this was just kind of a random sci-fi series, I'd like it. But I'm being a bit more critical just because I'm so familiar with the imagery and just the messed up nature of Warhammer 40K. So as I said, like, this issue does not bring the reveals and the holy crap moments like the second issue did, and it shouldn't. Like, it's going to be so difficult to top that. And instead, it dials things back. It really looks and focuses on Marneus, the character, in the past and the present, and kind of juxtaposes those two against each other. So really interesting growth as to the character and where the series is going. I think it has done so much to add depth and layers to what is a super important character in the Warhammer 40,000 mythos. So as well, I'm still very happy with the series. I want to see where it goes. It's a 5-issue limited series, so we got 2 issues to go, and we haven't seen Marvel announce anything else new. I would expect that to be coming fairly soon, and hopefully we'll get some more to spin out relatively soon after this series, because this one's it's pretty solid. It's some good stuff. So I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll get some more news soon about new Warhammer comics, or just Games Workshop comics in general. If you're a fan of GW 40K, I think this is well worth picking up. If you just like general sci-fi, I think this is well worth picking up. Now, I got a digital review copy from Marvel, but I went and bought my own copy just because I'm such a 40K fan, and just excited to dive in and check it out in physical copy. So out in comic shops now, you can go get it. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. Of course, we get a small percentage of that by purchasing through that, but really you should go support your comic shops. And speaking of support, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Now, if you're into 40K and gaming, tabletop gaming, check us out at boardgametoday.com. Board Games Today on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Check us out all there. If you're into the comic side of things, of course, we're graphicpolicy.com, Graphic Policy on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that as well. As always, much appreciated. Until next time, keep rolling those dice, get your game on, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching Board Game Today. We always appreciate your views and your support, but there are so many ways for you to support our site. Not only can you do it right here on video, but you can go and check us out at boardgametoday.com, where we have more news, reviews, interviews, everything you could ever want. But since you're here, if you can always give us a like, subscribe, or share our videos, or watch something else. As always, much appreciated, and get your game on.